Morning did not ask permission before arriving. It entered quietly through tall windows, settling across the bed they had not left in separate rooms. Thomas slept heavily. Eliza was already awake. She watched him, not as a woman unsure, but as one measuring what had changed. She rose slowly, a hand briefly resting against her stomach, just for a moment, then gone. By noon, the first consequence arrived. A letter sealed in red wax. Thomas read it once, then again. Thomas, quietly. They've withdrawn the contract. Eliza did not gasp. She did not ask who. She already knew, because her name was now written beside his. They return to town, whispers louder now. A store owner refuses service. Thomas's jaw tightens, his fists clench. The old anger rises. Eliza feels it. She does not look at him. She simply reaches for his hand. Eliza, soft but firm. Thomas. That is all she says. He exhales, and instead of fighting, he takes her hand, and they walk out together. Growth. Afternoon. Thomas is in town handling the contract withdrawal. The house feels thinner without him. Eliza has not felt well since morning. She lies on top of the coverlet, eyes closed. Not asleep, just resting. Then, a violent knock, not polite, not hesitant. Ruth startles. Jacob's boots hit the hallway hard. Another knock, harder. The kind of knock meant to remind a house who was expected to answer it. Jacob reaches the door first. He does not open it yet. He looks back. Eliza has already risen, too quickly. The room tilts. She steadies herself against the doorframe. Jacob, low, concerned. "Ma'am, you should sit." Eliza, calm, controlled. "Open it." He obeys. 3 white men stand on the porch, dust on their boots, hands resting near belts. "Man, we heard the master was away." Eliza steps forward, not loud, not trembling. "Eliza, you heard incorrectly." They look her over, her dress, her posture, her refusal to shrink. Second man, "This estate still runs on paper signed by him." Eliza, "And by me." Silence. The air tightens. Jacob shifts subtly closer. The men study her. Then one gives a small, humorless smile. "Man, enjoy it while it lasts." They leave. The sound of hooves fades. Eliza exhales slowly. Only then does she allow herself to lean slightly into the wall. Ruth rushes to her. Ruth, whispering, "They will come again." Eliza does not answer that. Instead, she says, "Eliza, prepare supper. Leadership first, fear later." Evening. The carriage returns faster than usual. Thomas steps down before the wheels stop moving. He knows something has happened. He can see it in Jacob's posture. "Thomas, what occurred?" Jacob hesitates. Eliza answers instead. "Eliza." "They knocked." He goes still. "Thomas." "And?" Eliza. "And they left." That does not ease him. It alarms him more. He steps closer, noticing her pallor. "Thomas, you're unwell." Eliza. "I am tired." Thomas. "That is not the same thing." She looks at him carefully. "Eliza, if I sit every time someone tests this house, they will believe it trembles." He steps closer, lower voice. "Thomas, you are not this house." Eliza. "No." Eliza. "I am the one standing in it." That lands. He reaches for her hand, feels how cold it is, and something inside him shifts. This is no longer political. This is personal. That night, the house finally went quiet. Not the quiet of safety, the quiet of exhaustion. Eliza sat at the edge of the bed, removing her earrings slowly. Thomas stood at the window, staring out into darkness like it might explain itself. He didn't speak at first, because he was fighting himself. If he spoke too quickly, his fear would sound like command. Finally, he turned. "Thomas, low. They want another meeting." Eliza didn't look surprised. "Eliza, they will keep wanting meetings until you shrink." Thomas's mouth tightened. "Thomas, and if I don't, they'll come for the estate." Eliza's voice stayed calm. but it sharpened. Eliza, they already are. A pause. Thomas stepped closer, careful, not looming, not crowding. Thomas, I can't be in town and here at the same time. Eliza finally looked up at him. Eliza, then don't pretend the answer is me disappearing. That hit, because it was true. Thomas rubbed his jaw, frustrated, mostly with himself. Thomas, you're doing too much. Eliza's eyes narrowed slightly. Eliza, I'm doing what I have always done. Thomas's voice softened. The fear came through now. Thomas, you're carrying our child. Silence settled. Not dramatic, just real. Eliza didn't deny it. She didn't even flinch. She simply said, Eliza, quiet. And that is why I cannot afford to let this house weaken. Thomas exhaled. Then, carefully, he offered compromise instead of control. Thomas, let me assign a head housekeeper. Eliza blinked once, listening. He continued. Thomas, someone you choose, someone you trust, not to replace you. He steps closer, voice lower. Thomas, but to carry weight with you, so you're not the only pillar holding this roof. Eliza stared at him, because that was different. Not sit down, not stop, but share. She turned her head slightly, considering. Eliza, if I agree? Thomas waited. Eliza, you will not start treating me like glass. Thomas swallowed. Thomas, I'll try. Eliza's lips pressed together, almost a smile, not quite. Eliza, that is the only honest promise you've ever made. Thomas laughed once, soft, tired. Then he sat beside her, not as master, as husband. Two people deciding how to survive the world. Morning came too quickly. The house does not wake gently anymore. It wakes alert. Eliza stands in the main hall with 3 women before her, not servants in trouble, women being measured. If the house was to stand, it would not stand on one woman's shoulders alone. Eliza moves slowly, not because she is weak, but because she is deliberate. Her hand rests briefly on the banister as she speaks. Eliza, I am not stepping back. The women exchange glances. Eliza, but I am stepping smarter. She turns toward a middle-aged black woman, calm eyes, steady presence. Eliza, Mrs. Clara, you've managed harvest accounts twice without error. Clara straightens. Eliza, I need a head housekeeper, not to replace me, to reinforce me. Clara hesitates. Clara, some won't like that. Eliza's expression does not change. Eliza, they already don't. A small pause. Eliza, will you stand? Clara nods, not eagerly, not nervously, solidly. Leadership is not loud, it is steady, and that morning, the house adjusted its weight. Thomas dismounts outside a brick merchant office. No dust this time, no shouting, just distance. Business rarely announces betrayal loudly, it withdraws quietly. Inside the office, 3 white men sit at a long table, papers laid out neatly, too neatly. Man number 1. Thomas, you understand this is structural. Thomas does not sit immediately. Thomas, say what you mean. A pause. Man number 2. Your estate is under unusual arrangement. Thomas's jaw tightens. Thomas, my wife's name is legal. Man number 1. Legal does not mean wise. Silence. Thomas finally sits. Slowly. Thomas, you're pulling capital because of her. They do not deny it. Man number 3. Markets prefer stability. Thomas leans back, studying them. Thomas, you mean obedience? That lands harder than they expected. One man clears his throat. Man number 1. We're requesting another meeting with broader investors. Thomas understands. This isn't business, it's pressure. Thomas, and if I refuse? Man number 2. Then contracts dissolve. A long silence. Thomas rises. Thomas, then dissolve. He turns and walks out, not reckless, resolved. Eliza reviewing accounts with Clara, Thomas riding home alone. In different rooms, in different battles, they were learning the same lesson. Leadership costs. Thomas rides faster than necessary, not from fear, from clarity. Eliza signs her name beneath an inventory ledger. Not shaking, not hiding, her name remains. Thomas arrives home at dusk, sees Clara issuing instructions, sees Eliza watching quietly. He understands. She did not shrink. She adjusted. He dismounts. Their eyes meet. No words, just recognition. They are both fighting. The second meeting was colder than the first. This time, more men sat at the table. More silence, more calculation. Thomas did not enter alone. He also had someone he can rely on. Seated at the far end was a man older than the rest, a well-seasoned businessman, gray at the temples, eyes that had known his father, Mr. Whitmore, the largest shareholder in the consortium. The room shifted when Thomas entered. Whitmore, calmly, "Gentlemen, let's not pretend this is about ledgers." The men stiffened. Whitmore, "Thomas Hale has done nothing illegal. A man's personal life has nothing to do with his business affairs." A pause. Whitmore, "If you withdraw from him, I withdraw from you." That lands heavy, because Whitmore owns most of the shares. The room goes quiet. Thomas waited. He did not need to speak. One man clears his throat. "Investor, we are merely concerned." Whitmore, "Concern yourselves with profit. Did you lose profit from what he did?" A long, uncomfortable silence. Finally, "Investor, the contracts will stand." Thomas does not smile. He nods once, not victorious, just aware. He had not won. He had survived. Thomas rides hard toward the estate, dust trailing behind. He feels something before he sees it. Smoke, thin, wrong. The small outer barn is burning. Men from the fields are already working to contain it. Buckets, shouting. Thomas dismounts before the horse stops, but he is not looking at the barn. He is scanning. Thomas, "Where is she?" No one answers immediately. Panic claws up his spine. Thomas, louder, "Where is Eliza?" Jacob steps forward, soot on his sleeve. Jacob, "She is inside, sir. She was not near the fire." Thomas exhales like someone pulled him from water. Only then does he glance at the barn. The flames are already controlled. Small structure, replaceable. Wood can be rebuilt, names can be repaired. But there are losses a man cannot survive twice. He storms into the house. Eliza is in the main hall, standing, calm, too calm. "Eliza, it was meant to be seen." He stops. Thomas, "What?" Eliza, "Not to destroy." A pause. Eliza, "To warn." He looks at her, really looks at her. Thomas, "You should not have been standing near that fire." Her jaw tightens. Eliza, "I was not near it." Eliza, "But I will not hide from smoke either." The fear inside him turns sharp. Thomas, "You are carrying my child." Eliza, "I am carrying our child, and I am carrying this house." Silence. The fire crackles faintly outside. He almost lost the estate in a boardroom. He almost lost his breath in a courtyard. The storm was no longer quiet. It had chosen flame. Night. The barn is no longer burning. Smoke lingers in the air like something unfinished. Thomas stands outside alone, watching the charred beams, not because he cares about wood, because he understands escalation. The first warning had been paper. The second had been flame. Thomas did not believe in coincidence. Footsteps behind him. Eliza. She should not be outside in night air. He hears her before he turns. Thomas, low. "You should be resting." Eliza. "So should you." A pause. They stand side by side, the burned barn in front of them. Thomas. "They think fear will divide us." Eliza. "They hope it will." He looks at her, not angry, not shouting, just honest. Thomas. "If they cannot reach me through business, they will try something else." Eliza's hand rests gently over her stomach, subtle, not dramatic. Eliza. "Then we do not give them panic." Silence. Smoke drifts between them. Thomas. Quiet. "I nearly lost the estate today." Thomas. "And I nearly lost my breath when I saw that fire." He looks at her fully. Thomas, I will not lose you. She studies him, not fragile, not frightened, just aware. Eliza, then stop trying to protect me from the world. A pause. Eliza, stand with me in it. That lands deeper than any threat. Thomas nods. Not as a master, as a man choosing partnership again. As they turn to walk back toward the house, a distant sound. Not fire, not shouting, hooves, far off, too far to see clearly, but close enough to hear. They both stop. Do not panic, do not run, just listen. The storm had not passed. It had only announced itself. The camera lingers on their silhouettes against the house, united, small against something larger.